Otakon 2014, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Otakon was an anime convention held from August 8th through the 10th, 2014 at the Baltimore Convention Center in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm an 8-year attendee of Otakon, and I was interested to see how this year would turn out. So let's take a look. One of the good things for this year was the one design plastic badge. It simplified your choices. You had one badge, and I like the plastic for its durability. As you can see, I do have the Encore Panelist ribbon. Other good things about this year include the panel staff. They were really easy and fun to work with. Check-in was super easy. I really enjoyed the attendees this year. Everyone seemed to just be chill and doing their thing, and just everyone seemed to get along relatively well. I also liked the improved crowd control, specifically the connecting bridge between the flag lobby and the registration lobby. They set up some barriers this year, and it kept traffic moving rather well. I was stuck in the big traffic jam in 2013 on Friday of that year, and that was not fun, and I was in no jam this year. Everything just kept moving smoothly. What was bad about the con is now the infamous pre-registration line on Thursday. There's not a lot to add here, but it was a complete disaster. Systems crashed, people couldn't get their badges. I can't tell you how we were lucky enough to get our badges on Thursday night. It just worked out that we were able to, but unfortunately we did leave a man behind in the line, and he didn't get his badge till Friday morning, and I believe he waited an hour and 45 minutes. And I'm rather disappointed that we had to leave a man behind to get our badges. That's not cool. And a lot of things just didn't go right in that reg line. And another problem was the communications during the pre-reg line issues was non-existent, as were the staff. They were basically non-existent too. If you didn't have Twitter in the pre-registration line, you didn't have any clue pretty much what was going on, and that was really poor. There needed to be more staff and better communication going on to the attendees who are waiting in line. It's not acceptable that we're paying $80 a badge now to get in, that they can't communicate with the people what is going on during a situation like this. Adding one more point to this, hopefully they will switch to a mail system that we could get our badges ahead of time, not have to get into Baltimore so early, and not have to wait in line. That would be a solution. Would I be willing to pay a little more money to get my badge mailed to me and possibly pay for insurance on said badge? Yes, I would. Now for the ugly portion. These are things that should be better or could be better. Room clear issues happened at several panels. A panel I attended, I could not get an accurate feeling of how many people were in the room because another much more popular panelist, someone who was more well known, was going to present afterwards and people were filling into the room. I know of several panels that I attended that people did not get in due to people camping out in the room for one or two panels before the panel they actually wanted to attend, which unfortunately is an issue. I did run into occasional staff issues with flow control. They were moving people better through the convention center, but I found a few times, specifically in the flag lobby, the staff that were making sure the escalators were clear occasionally were not very nice, and their tone could have been better. I realize everyone is tired, everyone is stressed, but honestly, it could be a little bit nicer due to the amount of money we're paying to be there. Photo shoot staffing and coordination was not perfect this year. Otakon did something new for the first time. They took over planning of several photo shoot areas that are high traffic. And while it was a good idea, I noticed that some of these photo shoots were now vastly underattended for, I don't know why. People didn't seem to show up to some of these photo shoots. And a friend of mine wanted me to mention that it seems like the staff had a varying level of participation. Some helped coordinate shoots while others just plain disappeared during said shoots. That is one area that could be improved. The whole Baltimore Convention Center with the Hilton and Hyatt is kind of a mess because it now takes far too long to travel across the whole event. I know several times I was looking through the panel guide, I'm like, I wonder where this panel is. It's Hilton. It's going to take me 15 minutes to get to the Hilton. I'm not going to get there. And I don't think there's really much they can do to fix this at this point until the move to Washington, D.C. But unfortunately, it is something that detracts from the convention. It makes attending as many panels, events as you want hard to do. Finally, one of the ugly things I ran into was the Baltimore Harbor Hotel, which is formerly known as the Sheraton Baltimore City Center. We stayed at this hotel for several years. We booked it through the Otakon room block. Unfortunately, due to their new ownership and due to them no longer using the Sheraton flag, My experience, my group's experience, went down a lot. We had a room that at any other time, we would have asked for another room. There was vandalism on the wall. When we got in there, graffiti. There was stuff wrote on the wall. We had loose electrical sockets and some electrical wires hanging from an air conditioning unit, along with some furniture that was already broken when we got into the room. We're looking at new hotels for next year, but honestly, right now, I can't recommend this hotel to you. If you want more details, search for the Baltimore Harbor Hotel on Yelp. I have a review up there. It was not a great year. The staff were good. The hotel itself is the issue, as it seems to be falling apart. It's Otakon. It's the big East Coast anime convention. For the good or the bad. It's similar to the NASCAR Daytona 500. A lot of teams would like to skip the 500. It's very expensive to run, and you can't always guarantee a good result. But you have to go because otherwise you'd miss something. Personally, for me, it was one of my better Otakons in the last few years. I had a good time. I adopted a new convention attitude. If you don't see it, don't worry about it. But honestly, it was a very average year, even with the big Sailor Moon events that were occurring. I give the convention a B- for 2014. I really can't find any way to score them higher. I really love to. I actually know some people who this was their 15th Otakon. They gave the convention a C. They just couldn't find anything special about it this year. I do think Otakon's going to have several big questions related to registration due to the disaster, and we'll have to see how they handle it from this point forward. Thanks for watching.